Hello and welcome back. Or if it's your first time here, welcome. In the last video, I implemented exceptions as well as keyboard interrupts in the operating system, and in today's video, I want to do a few more things. Firstly, I want to clean up some of the code, then I want to add capitalization for the keyboard, then I want to add timers, the timer interrupt, and then I want to add the rest of the escape codes. So, the first thing I want to do is I want to replace all these OS devs now that I have an actual name for the project, or at least a working name. Also, I'm now on Linux as opposed to Windows, which I was on last time, and because I only changed to Windows to be able to do one thing, and now that that's done, I can go back to Linux, which is far better for a project like this, and also fixes all the issues I was having with WSL on Windows in the last video. Okay, just have a few more. I think this is the last header file. Is that them all? Yeah. And there's just two more things I want to clean up. And here, at the moment, I have these flags, which are kind of magic numbers. I mean, there's a few more other magic numbers, but I think these are the worst offenders. So here, I can probably make some define flags that will just take in present, a mode, a gate, and then I can build the byte, move the present to the 7th bit, the mode to the 5th, then there's the 0 at the 4th, I'm not typing the symbols right, and then just the gate, and then I can make a default one. Also, this doesn't slow down, make it any slower, because even though it's doing all these operations, the compiler's just gonna, well, assuming you give it literals, will be able to solve it itself before the program starts. It just makes the code cleaner. It's no cost. I guess it also lets you type in with variables if you want to change certain things. And the gate was 001 in binary. I think that's 14 in decimal. So that should be all for there. And then default ISR flags. Right. Also, actually first, just want to move the keyboard handler. I can get rid of scan code. I want to move this keyboard handler into its own driver because I want to just keep the IDT files just to set it up and handle that, not to do all the interrupts themselves. Right. I'll make a C file as well, keyboard.c, just so I can dump my code in there. And then let me include all these. I don't know if the keyboard should be in scan codes, maybe it isn't able to figure that out. I don't know if the keyboard should necessarily do, what's it called, do the printing itself, but for now it's fine. And at the very top, I'll bring in keyboard. I can do it here, keyboard.h. And keyboard.h will just take that definition. The only other thing I just noticed is it still says OS dev at the top. I can change that here, and now hopefully when I run it, it all still works, which it seemingly does. I keep on thinking that capitals will work. They won't at the moment, but that's a great segue because now I'm going to try and get the capitals to work. I think the first thing I want to do is just see if I can make the character be a capital, like without changing the scan codes. So, and then if the character is less than or equal to A, or greater than or equal to A, and less than or equal to Z, then I need to get rid of the fifth bit, because that will make it a lowercase, so not 32, and chart in there. Now, there's also it's all capitals. There's also the numbers to symbols, but unfortunately, you can't just add 32 to do that. Instead, you need some map, and maybe I can do that in scan code, even though it's not. Oh no, I'll do it in keyboard.h because it's not really a scan code thing. Just what was it? How do I do it in scan code? Yeah, just I guess it'll be a uint 8 t symbol. I won't call it a symbol table. I'll do number to symbol. And I don't know if 0 comes first or last in ASCII, but I'm sure we'll find out. Assuming that 0 comes first, or assuming that 0 is the 0th thing, then I'll work the way backwards. Ampersand, caret, percent, money, hash, at, and exclamation mark. There's also some others that have minus and plus, or minus and equals becoming underscore and plus, and backtick becoming tilde, but for now I'll just see if I can get this to work, because not entirely sure on what the ASCII is for those. I don't know if they're in order with the zeros and stuff, but if char is greater than to, was it in the range of zeros, and char is less than or equal to 9, again assuming that that's the right way. What was this? Had something else to do. Oh no, I don't. Then char minus 0, using the number to symbol on char minus 0. I don't know, I deleted my char. Char equals, let's see, will this give us, oh, it's all backwards, okay, that's great. Should I flip it? I guess I could, what would 0 be? I could do minus 9. Oh, I don't, no, because 0 is the biggest, so I would want to minus 1. Because I don't know if that's the No, not even. I'll just change it around so it's backwards. Yep, it's, well, let's make sure it's right, at least for one. There was one, the bracket, because it's missing the first one still. -0, -1. Oh, I've got exclamation mark. Okay, for the other ones though. Exclamation mark gets replaced. Have to flip it all around. Okay, and that should be these ones. Now I wonder, zero's last, maybe it does just continue this way. Let's find out. Let me support underscore and see if between and minus. No, it's not even. Ah, okay, so it's not in order. That's fine, I'll get the other ones. Don't delete that one though. I'll get the other ones another time. So, that will make the capital, lowercase into a capital. Now, let's actually do the shifting. So, I want some Boolean shift down, and I want to change release to be using just a Boolean. Released equals false, and then released equals if it's scan code, then released equals true, right? What was it? Sign, but okay, that's fine. And here, before I do this, if release, then do the actual returning to skip doing the characters for the release things. And this can also be PIC1 command now. I think I forgot to change that last time. Return, and between here and here I need to know what number, what index left shift is. So let me just quickly count that, because I don't have any way to output the integer as a string. I think that's 42. I also know that, I think I remember on the from last time, that caps lock was the one just after space. So 42 plus 16 is 58. Then if scan code is equal to the left shift, or the scan code is equal to the released version of the left shift. Left shift, that would be left shift X or not X or X80. Put that in a bracket. Then, I need another bracket. Then shift down equals not the opposite, or because the opposite of released. Released is false. when it's pressed, then it should be true, and if it's, yeah, okay. And shift down, double and, okay. Now, shifting should work. If I type something, it's lowercase. If I do shift, if I let go, okay, it's doing the extra space, so it's not space, it's like null character. That's just because I never return after left shift. As for caps lock, behave slightly differently, because that's a toggle more than like holding it down, so I don't need to check if it's released. Not left caps lock, there's only one. Then still return, and then just caps down equals not caps down. So it toggles around. The only issue I could really see was that it might be, well, let's first see if it works, and then press caps. Oh, because I'd never take into account the caps in here. Shift down, XOR caps down. Because if they're both down, then it's lowercase, and if they're both off, it's lowercase, otherwise it's capital. Okay, I think the only issue is because it does that. Oh. I just hold it for a long time. Or does it not? Because if I think about it, maybe it's fine. So there's the typematic thing that keeps on triggering it afterwards, but maybe it's okay in this case. So that would do capitalization. That leaves timer, interrupt, and the remaining escape codes. So the timer interrupt should actually be pretty straightforward now that I have all this set up. And I'll also fill the gap between the exceptions and the keyboard, so that's good. That means I can use the same single loop. So 34 and what is it? Exception handler, keyboard handler. I want a timer handler. Timer handler. Okay. And in here, I can delete stub 33, delete that, and just do 34 times. And to be safe, or not to be safe, but so it works, I need to unmask the 30-second thing. That's also something I should probably make a define or something. And I need an actual timer handler function. I might as well make that its own driver, following the theme of what I did with keyboard. Timer.h to just will be like a void timer handler. Oh no, it won't be. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that should be good for that. And a C timer.c should be the actual doing, well, including first, maybe. And then I'll just make it print out like a dot, like it's waiting or loading or whatever. Default VGA color. That's the thing that exists. I think I have to do include drivers VGA colors. Was it? Maybe it's VGA default color. Okay, there we go. And I have to say that we handled it. x20, and I also have to include IO to do so. Now we should see a bunch of dots. Oh, I think that's because here 32. Dot 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 dot. Okay, and I think that's actually too slow because you want it to be as fast as like what's reasonable, so you can time things accurately. It's not the most accurate timer. I think there's another more accurate timer. Not that important to have accurate timings for what this will probably be used for, but it will be important to have some sort of accuracy if you're ever trying to see how long a program runs for. So you want 16T hits. Now okay, timeless C forward set PIT right to 16 hertz. Now I believe out B on 43. I'll write it out and then I'll make a pack thing later. So that's channel 0, high-low mode. I think that 0 is just always there, or I'm not sure. I know this is like square wave, and then I think this is like binary over decimal. Anyway, that's why I won't write a pack one right now, because I'm not entirely sure. Kind of just memory. I know roughly the right thing. I should make a divisor up here that is a uint16. Here's one thing I can put into define, which is the, what would it be called? Default PIT, right? And that is 1193180. That's how fast it runs by default. Default PIT rate divided by the hertz, and here I need to send it in two halves because it only accepts 1 byte at a time. So enter, what am I doing? Yes, the divisor, but only the first byte, and then the other byte. Divisor, move over the next byte and mask that out. That should change the rate, and I'll just put that in the kernel after set PIT rate. I think 1000 should be a good amount of hertz. Look at that. It should take around 2 seconds to fill the entire screen, which it looks like it does. And I should now be able to remove these dots. Instead, let's do uint64 tick. It should last very, very long time at 1000 a second, like basically an infinite amount of time, though not exactly. But not going to be an issue here or anywhere. Extend, what's it called? What do I call it? That was tick. And here, let's just make sure this works. If tick is greater than or equal to 1000, I need a start tick. Start. um, default start tick equals 0 and tick minus the start tick greater than that. Then I want to print a dot using the default color, and then the start tick can equal the tick. Did I remember to increment that? No, I didn't. Tick. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, okay, that looks like 1 a second. Now I can remove that, and that goes on to the escape sequences, which is the last part of this video. Now where? Oh, okay. So I only have /n and the null terminator at the moment. I can do, this is the behavior for the /n, this is the normal one, so I can add in the rest of them. This one will be, what's the next easiest one? Probably the tab. Else if probably took more time than what taking to write it. Into the region, should make a down here some tab width 8. I think the default's 4 actually, but like normal tabs are 4. Like 8 more, which has reminded me that I haven't changed this to use 8 tabs now that I'm on Linux. Not that important there. So that will just skip forward. Yeah, so plus equals, because I'm not actually filling in the space behind me. That's fine. Don't think I should be. Assume that the thing's already cleared. That should be to do the tab jump. Then the other major one is backspace. There's also, what was I thinking? Return carriage, which isn't used much anymore, but it's still there, which should do basically this, but if we're gonna, it's like plus equals, so this moves forward, this should move back by the amount, and I think modulo 0. I think this is just gonna be like that. Then there's backspace, which requires some more logic, but let me just test these ones. So charac /t, character, charac, and then return, and then actor. Let's see what that does. Yeah, actor set, because it's going to overwrite the /t. Let's just make sure that /t works. Yeah, perfect. Backspace. Backspace is going to be interesting and useful. I should also add backspace to the keyboard input once I get this done. Oh no, backspace is already in the keyboard input, that's fine. So, we want to cursor pause. This moves the cursor to the, okay, that's fine. Move the cursor pause back one, -1, minus the cursor pause, but it needs to also, so if the cursor will be at the time, it will be on the character, that means that first the character at the cursor pause, which would be the video at the cursor pause equals space is 20, right? Is that what I've been? I'll just do equal space, then I can be certain. Now backspace works, hopefully. I can test that in the keyboard itself, typing, backspace. Kinda weird behavior though. Also, where's the, okay there. Then it moves back one, so it should, it's deleting too early. Or it's deleting, then it's moving back. How do I explain it? Is this correct, or is it correct to type some stuff? I don't know where the cursor disappears. Seems to... Oh, it's gonna go all the way. Okay, that's something for the next thing. It does all the way around. And I'll have to look into why the cursor disappears. That's /B. There's /F and /V, which are no longer used. I could add them, but I don't really want to. I don't even know what. I think /V is vertical tab and /F is for some printer stuff. I don't know what they do. There is one that I do want to add, which is /A, which is probably the least known escape code. It plays a beep, and I think that's pretty interesting. So I'll make a little speaker driver. And the speaker actually uses the same kind of technology as the timer to set the hertz it plays out. Okay. And avoid. So we'll need a start speaker, a stop speaker, and set speaker hertz, set speaker hertz, and maybe speaker set hertz would be the more accurate one. Kind of based on how I did VGA, but I've already done not keyboard timer that way, so I'll leave it like this for now, and I might change it next time. Hertz. What a dumb way to include that. Oh, why is it? Why did that not get added to the? I did, but not enough. It was actually working really well, and now it doesn't want to work. And I don't know exactly why. Does it say that it's in a... What? Interesting to say the least. It was working. It is called speaker H. I'll just go along with the long way, and I'll fix that later. I think it might just need me to turn off and restart C-line. And now in speaker.c for the final stretch. Oh, I forgot about set and stop. Start speaker. Stop speaker. Ooh, spell it right. And yeah. Does this one get the paths right? Does. So I really don't know what's up with. Let me just copy these in here. I don't know what's up with the header for this one. Setting the hertz is out B 43. Then it would be the same, but it should use channel 2, because otherwise it's going to be changing the wrong thing. I don't know why I decided there should be brackets there, they shouldn't, and then sending the same type of stuff. It's basically the exact, it is the exact same pattern. Visit equals that same. I guess that means I have to go in to get the timer one to get that. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll just do default hertz in here because I think it don't want to be including timer into the speaker for no reason. Default hertz speaker. It could just be default hertz and I'll put it in somewhere else. I'll do default speaker hertz. Same number. Yeah. Of speaker hertz divided by hertz. This can be const as well. And yeah, okay. Here 42 uint 8 again with the divisor and the other half. Also in the next video I think I'll be doing more of the standard library, maybe even like malloc and that sort of stuff, which will be interesting, and that's going to get the project, it's going to be a major milestone. I don't know, I'll move it a lot further along. Anyway, that should set the frequency in here. It's a little, I'll just do an out B to, I think it's 61, doing an in B from 61, and then or 3 to enable it. And for the other one, it's the same routine, except I want to AND FC to start it and stop it. Then inside of here, also I feel like I should make that separate. First in the kernel, might as well set the speaker hertz to 400, or I guess 440 is basically C on a piano. Maybe that will sound nicer. I think I only meant to sound nice. Slow, start, speaker. I'll get the start ticks, doing that same thing. Start tick equals tick from timer. So I guess I had to include timer anyway. Oh no, this is VGA though. So equals start tick. While this will be blocking because there's no multi-threading or anything, but it's going to block for not long. Whilst tick minus start tick. And play for half a second is, well, less than I could do. Less than 500. Wait. And then stop speaker now. I'm not sure if I just found some A's. What's causing that? I don't think I made that low. Speaker divisor default speaker hertz divided by hertz. The only thing I could think is like, well, that seems right. Not the default hertz for the speaker. What's it in timer? Why is it so low then? Huh. Interesting. Divided by hertz. Divisor and that. Start the speaker was that. Stop it was that. Well, the start and stop works. Does it? Oh, because it happens way before the speaker or anything is ever set. That's probably why. So first thing, let's set it so it doesn't sound like a tuba. Arguably worse. How about with one? Is it? Doesn't want to stop. Hello. So basically right after I stopped recording I realized why the /A wasn't working was the time interrupt. I had both the IDT init and the PIT set rate underneath all the text that actually got printed out. So obviously it wasn't going to use it correctly and it was just going to play forever. But doing something like this now works. Also, I'm not sure if I even ever typed in /A. Maybe I did and deleted it when I was finished recording. But it will make the noise no matter what because it's in the character set anyway. Here's it working with that method. So you can skip ahead or you can watch me get confused and not understand why it isn't working when it's very obvious why it isn't working. Oh, because this is... Interrupts can still come in though, right? I don't know. I'd assume so. What if I just cheap that for now and I'll look into it, but I'll just make it a really long, maybe that long with a for loop. Which isn't the best way, considering I made with a speaker thing, but I think it's because it's blocking and the interrupts aren't coming in. Because the tick was working when I tested it there, so let's see if that works. Way too fast though, right? Okay, that's about right if I make it 5 times like that. Okay, maybe like 2. It's kind of a bad solution, but it's beeping and it's working and that's all that really matters for now. I'll fix that as well as some more of the other stuff in the next episode, and then I'll do some more of the standard library. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe,